Sri Lanka, the name itself conjures up images of exotic spices, ancient ruins swallowed by jungle, and endless beaches. This 7-day tour of Sri Lanka offers a comprehensive exploration of the island's diverse landscapes, rich culture, and warm hospitality. From the cultural triangle in the north to the southern coastal gems, you've experienced the very best of Sri Lanka. Cultural highlights of the trip: ancient cities of Anuradhapura, Sigiriya, Polonnaruwa, Dambulla, Kandy and Galle. Natural wonders included in the trip are Yala National Park, the tea plantations tour of Nuwara Eliya, and the beaches of Galle and Bentota. Wildlife encounters include elephant gatherings at Minari, safaris in Yala National Park, sea turtle conservation projects, and river safaris. Adventure activities: climbing Sigiriya Rock, hiking in Ella, hiking at Dambulla. As culinary experiences, you will have cooking classes, spice gardens, and tea tastings. At the tail end of the trip is relaxation at beach in Bentota, spa treatments, and scenic train rides. Serendipity tours. Private Limited is in charge of organizing the tour. Travelers who book this trip get a comfortable vehicle, an experienced local guide, comfortable accommodations, and delicious meals. The package also includes all entry fees and activity costs. The 7-day tour itinerary: a whirlwind tour from the ancient cities of the Cultural Triangle to the misty hills of tea country, culminates in the vibrant chaos of Colombo. The tour includes a large number of historical temples, palaces, gardens, and many other ancient monuments. Throw in a safari, a cooking class, and enough curry to satisfy your inner glutton, and you've got the recipe for one heck of an adventure. This 7-day tour features Sri Lanka raw and unfiltered. Day 1 starts early in the morning due to the 5-hour drive from Colombo to Anuradhapura. Anuradhapura, the ancient capital, is the first stop on the trip. The ruins of Anuradhapura are like stepping back in time. Towering stupas, crumbling temples, all whispering tales of a glorious past. The sheer scale of it all was humbling. Before heading to Arkana Buddha, you visit the first Buddhist temple in Sri Lanka, dating back to the 3rd century BC, better known as Mihintale. Later, you visit the Arkana Buddha statue. The Arkana Buddha is a 40-foot tall granite statue carved with an almost serene smile. Anuradhapura is home to 8 significant icons that symbolize Sri Lanka's relationship with Buddhism. Thus, the collection is titled Attamasthanaya, which translates to 8 sacred places. An individual narrative or historical context is associated with each of them. Monarchs who oversaw the Anuradhapura kingdom were primarily responsible for building them. All of these locations will be on your Anuradhapura city tour. 8 sacred places are Ruwanwelisaya, constructed by King Dutugamunu. Thuparamaya, potentially the earliest observable stupa in the island, the Lova Mahapaya Abhayagiri Monastery. Jethavanaramaya, which at the time housed approximately 3,000 priests, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Mirisavettiya, King Dutugamunu constructed this stupa subsequent to his victory over King Alara. A high peak close to Anuradhapura is called Mihintale. Dating back to the 2nd century BC, it is among the world's oldest places of worship. King Devanampiya Tissa was the one who built it. The temple is currently a place of pilgrimage. home to numerous significant religious monuments as well as abandoned buildings, including an Ayurvedic hospital. This ancient city is a powerful reminder of the enduring spirit of this ancient land. On day one, the tour comes to an end upon reaching Habarana, a small village on the edge of the cultural triangle. You will check into your hotel in Habarana and spend the rest of the day leisurely. Day two starts with a climb of the Sigiriya Rock fortress. Sigiriya, also known as Lion Rock, rose out of the jungle like something out of an Indiana Jones film. The views from the top overlooking the surrounding plains were breathtaking. Your guide will share interesting stories, including tales of the ancient king who once ruled from this fortress. The stories are etched into the very stones beneath our feet. Sigiriya is situated in the central Matale district of Sri Lanka's central province, in close proximity to the municipality of Dambulla, a location of historical and archaeological importance that is dominated by a colossal granite column measuring approximately 200 meters, 660 feet in height, is denoted by the name. The ancient Sri Lankan chronicle Kulavamsa records that King Kasyapa 477–495 CE chose the location for his new capital. King constructed his palace atop this rocky outcrop and embellished its peripheries with vivid frescoes. Approximately halfway up the face of this mountain, on a small plateau, he constructed a gateway in the shape of a monstrous lion. The nomenclature of this location is derived from the Lion Rock, or Sigiriya. Both the royal palace and the capital were deserted following the demise of the monarch. Buddhist monastery occupied the edifice until the 14th century. Next stop will be Polonnaruwa, another ancient city, this one with a more melancholic air. The second oldest city in Sri Lanka is Polonnaruwa. Following Anuradhapura, it was designated as Sri Lanka's capital. After defeating the Chola invaders in 1070 to bring the country back together under a native ruler, King Vijayabahu established Polonnaruwa as the capital city, making it the second oldest kingdom in Sri Lanka. As a testament to the rigor and grandeur of the kingdom's founding kings, the ancient city of Polonnaruwa is still one of the best planned archaeological sites in the nation. Its splendor was also used as a setting for sequences in the 1982 Duran Duran music video Save a Prayer. UNESCO has designated the historic city of Polonnaruwa as a World Heritage Site. The city tour of Polonnaruwa is a wonderful sample of Sri Lankan historical workmanship and includes palaces, dagobas and temples. During your 3-hour guided tour of the Polonnaruwa ancient city, you will see some of the following sights. The most renowned and talented builder of the time, King Parakramabahu, resided at the royal palace. Nisankamula Palace is a royal audience hall featuring remarkable brickwork. Gal Viharaya, home to some of the nation's top rock carvings. Image houses in Thuparama and Lankathilaka. Vatadej King Parakramabahu statue, Rankoth Vihara, which is the largest stupa in Polonnaruwa. The ancient city is a reminder of the ephemeral nature of power, even in a place as timeless as Sri Lanka. You will end the day with the village tour in a small village nestled in the heart of the cultural triangle. Here you get your hands dirty, learning to make proper Sri Lankan rice and curry from a group of women whose laughter was as warm and inviting as the spices themselves. On day 3, the tour starts after breakfast and heads to Kandy. The road to Kandy was a sensory overload. Your first stop will be at Dambulla Golden Temple, which is one of the oldest ancient temples in the region. After the Dambulla Temple, you drive through lush valleys to the next stop in Matale, the Spice Garden. Your first stop on this route is the Dambulla Golden Temple. This temple tour lasts about an hour. The cave temple of Dambulla, which dates back to the 1st century BC, is one of the most impressive Buddhist temples in Sri Lanka. It is comprised of 5 caverns carved with a drip line beneath an overhanging rock to keep the interiors dry. The ceilings of the caverns are adorned with religious motifs and depictions of numerous deities. Images of the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas are present. Numerous caverns within the temple have been repurposed as shrine chambers. The caverns were constructed beneath a 150-meter tall rock during the reigns of the Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa dynasties. UNESCO classified the renowned Dambulla Cave Temple as a World Heritage Site. The Dambulla Cave Monastery continues to be Sri Lanka's most well-preserved ancient structure. The second stop on this route will be the Spice Garden, where you learn about the medicinal properties of everything from turmeric to cardamom. Your guide will explain to you the various spices and herbs available in the country as you pass through the heart of Sri Lanka's spice country, a region that had once lured traders from across the globe. Next up is a Hindu temple, a riot of color and sound where you witness the fervor of religious devotion firsthand. Kandy, the hill country city, is the destination for the day. The city nestled amidst the hills is a world away from the ancient cities of the north. The air is cooler in Kandy, the pace of life a little slower. Kandy is a major city in Sri Lanka. Kandy is located in the mountainous and thickly forested interior of Sri Lanka, about 115 kilometers, 71 miles, northeast of Colombo. Kandy has a tropical climate, but is cooler than many other parts of Sri Lanka due to its elevation, about 500 meters above sea level. Kandy was the last capital of the ancient king's era of Sri Lanka. It served as the capital of the Kandyan Kingdom from 1592 until the kingdom fell to the British in 1815. Kandy considered the cultural capital of Sri Lanka and is home to the Temple of the Tooth Relic, Sri Dalada Maligawa, one of the most sacred places of worship in the Buddhist world. The city of Kandy became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988 due to its cultural and historical importance. Your Kandy City tour includes traditional Kandyan dance performances, a hypnotic spectacle of drumming, fire-breathing, and acrobatic feats that leave you speechless. After the cultural show, visit the Peradeniya Botanical Gardens. Peradeniya Botanical Garden is the most well-known garden on the island, which has an orchid house, palm alley, bamboo avenue, spice garden, flowering plant collection, and veranda collection. Visiting the Temple of the Tooth Relic is the last activity of the day. You visit the Temple of the Tooth Relic and witnessed the evening ceremony. Kandy is home to the Buddhist Sri Dalada Maligawa, also known as the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. The Kingdom of Kandy owns the palace complex. Whoever holds the relic controls the country, which has attributed significant political weight to it since ancient times. The temple has partially contributed to the designation of Kandy, Sri Lanka, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Day 4. Tea time and train tales. Day 4 takes you into the heart of tea country. As you ascend into the hills, the air grows noticeably cooler, the landscape transforming into a sea of emerald green tea plantations. Your first stop on this route is Ramboda Falls, a cascade of water plunging down the mountainside. Next up is a tea factory, where you learn about the intricate process of transforming tea leaves into the steaming cup of Ceylon tea. After visiting the tea factory tour, enjoy a Nuwara Eliya city tour. During the tour, you will visit Gregory Lake, downtown Nuwara Eliya, the Nuwara Eliya Market, and Victoria Park, which are among the points of interest. The highlight of the day, however, will be the popular train journey from Nuwara Eliya to Ella, which lasts about 2 hours. The train rattles slowly through the hills, offering breathtaking views of tea plantations, waterfalls, and villages clinging to the mountainsides. It will be a journey back in time, a glimpse into the soul of rural Sri Lanka. Day 5, Safari, Sunset and Leopard Dreams. Day 5 is all about wildlife. You will be heading to the dry, sunny and scenic south coast and to Yala National Park, home to elephants, leopards, crocodiles, bears, buffaloes, monkeys and a dazzling array of bird life. As the sun begins to set, you will set off on your safari, the jeep bumping along dusty tracks. You will be able to see a large number of wild animals, including herds of elephants bathing in watering holes, crocodiles basking on the banks of rivers, and countless species of birds. There is a good chance of spotting leopards and bears as the light begins to fade. Watch a leopard, sleek and powerful, slinking through the undergrowth will be a fleeting glimpse, but it is enough to send shivers down your spine. The next morning, you have the opportunity to embark on another safari before dawn, if you like to have another glimpse of the elusive leopard. Day 6, Coastal Charms and Turtle Tales. On day 6, your guide will take you along the scenic south and west coasts of Sri Lanka. The first stop on this route will be Galle. Galle, with its 17th century Dutch fort, is like stepping back in time. You have the opportunity to wander through the cobbled streets, admiring the colonial architecture and soaking up the laid-back vibe. With a multi-ethnic and multi-religious populace, the fort boasts a rich historical background. There is considerable interest from the Sri Lankan government and several Dutch individuals who retain ownership of properties within the fort in transforming it into one of the world's modern marvels. UNESCO has acknowledged the cultural significance of the fort and designated the location a UNESCO World Heritage Site under Criteria 4. This designation is in recognition of the site's exceptional display of an urban ensemble that exemplifies the interaction between European architecture and South Asian traditions during the 16th to the 19th centuries. Galle Fort, alternatively referred to as the Dutch Fort or the Ramparts of Galle, withstood the destructive Boxing Day tsunami that struck a portion of the town's coastline. Since then, it has been restored. The Galle Fort accommodates many prestigious resort hotels and is in close proximity to the Dutch Reformed Church. From Galle, you will head to a nearby sea turtle conservation project. Here, you will learn about the threats facing these gentle creatures and the efforts being made to protect them. You may also get the opportunity to release a hatchling into the ocean, a tiny creature embarking on a journey across the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean. The day ends with a river safari in Bentota, gliding along the tranquil waters surrounded by mangroves and the sounds of bird life. The perfect way to unwind after a day of exploring. The ecological significance of this location on an international scale earned it the designation of Ramsar Wetland in 2003. At 915 hectares in size, it is the second largest wetland in Sri Lanka. and is comprised of 23 islands inhabited by close to 300 families. The Coast Conservation Department has designated the river sanctuary as a special area managed SAM and tourist development area. The place of residence for the Madhu Ganga is Balapitiya. Day 7, Colombo's urban heartbeat. On the last day of the 7-day Sri Lanka tour, you will be heading to Colombo after breakfast. You will explore Colombo, Sri Lanka's bustling capital, on a guided tour. The city is a whirlwind of sights, sounds, and smells. You will visit ancient temples, bustling markets, and colonial-era buildings. Your guide will take you on a whirlwind tour of this bustling city, from the Peta market, a riot of colour and noise where you could buy anything from spices to electronics, to the serene Gangaramaya Temple, an oasis of peace in the heart of the city. Gangaramaya Temple is one of the most important temples in Colombo and a significant Buddhist complex in Sri Lanka. This 19th century Buddhist temple showcases an eclectic mix of Sri Lankan, Thai, Indian and Chinese architecture, representing various schools of Buddhist architecture. Sima Malacca, a picturesque meditation center on Beira Lake connected to the Gangarama Temple. The next stop on the Colombo city tour is Vihara Mahadevi Park. Vihara Mahadevi is located in Colombo 7, or Cinnamon Gardens. It is the largest and most popular park in the city. It is believed that there had been a 20-square-kilometer cinnamon plantation in the area. Today, most of the palaces of wealthy people can be seen in the area, and Colombo 7 is the most picturesque part of the city. The tour ends at the Galle Fort Green, a sprawling urban park overlooking the Indian Ocean. After visiting Vihara Mahadevi Park, you will be visiting Peta Market, the Hindu Temple, Independence Square, Colombo 7 or Cinnamon Garden and Galle Fort Green. As the sun set, casting a golden glow over the city, your week-long journey comes to an end. Reflections on Sri Lanka's 7-day tour. Ancient seafarers called Sri Lanka the Pearl of the Indian Ocean for a reason. It's a land of breathtaking beauty, from the ancient ruins swallowed by jungle to the emerald green tea plantations clinging to the hillsides. But it's the people, their warmth, their resilience, their infectious smiles that truly make this island special. Even though 7 days is barely enough to scratch the surface of this complex and fascinating country, with this carefully crafted Sri Lankan 7-day tour, you can see a large number of important places in the country. Serendipity Tours is well prepared to customize this package as per your liking. So please don't hesitate to contact us at any time for more information or a booking at www.sirilactours.com. Thank you for watching.